Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tarot Pairs. I'm just waiting for Jeff to get in. And tonight, our stories are about a New England uh, shelter in New Hampshire is taking care of 1,000 surrendered mice from a laboratory, and what that means for them. Um, a nest of mice reproduces very quickly. They reach maturity at 42 days old, and they can have babies every 20 to 24 days and become pregnant with their next uh, litter within a day's time. So it's as soon as they started to getting the mice surrendered to them, uh, females were giving birth to new litters. Another thing, um, a sea turtle was found in the Netherlands and relocated um, to warmer waters. Our third is Mudang, a hippo in some eastern country, has a song released in 4 languages celebrating him. Hello, Fatima. Blessings, blessings. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your continued support and supporting all the other tarot channels out there. You are a godsend to this community. So blessings to you, Fatima. And finally, our last is about in Bolivia. They have 1,000 skulls on parade each year for a festival, and they honor the dead by decorating the human skulls and um, laying out offerings of cigarettes and food for them. And it's a celebration of life. So those are the stories we're going to read on tonight. Hopefully, Jeff will be here very quickly. We've had a couple days of interesting energy our way. Sunday night, our fence around our patio was tagged. I don't know if the tagging actually took place that day. Definitely when we got back from the cruise, there was nothing visible on our fence. It is not a very big tag on the fence itself, but it is a tag letting us know that we're being watched. Um, so we are having to get the authorities involved. There is a Houston Gang Task Force. Whether it's an individual or a gang, they'll be able to enlighten us as to what the tag means, because I have no hood cred or hood smarts, and this is definitely new for me. But it is an energy and safety violation. So we're having that investigated. How is everybody out there tonight? We got 3 people watching. Thank you, Fatima, and lurkers. We love lurkers. Please be respectful of everyone in the chat. This is a place for a little bit of tarot education. We're reading on quirky news stories and possible energies of 2 cards that were randomly selected, and we are reading all 4 permutations: upright, 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 reversed, reversed, upright, and reversed, reversed on each of the 4 news stories. So as soon as you give me a topic, I will riff on that and we can discuss. How's everybody's week going? I know, Fatima, you're in, was it Vancouver in Canada? One of our blessed friends from Canada. Thank you for being here. Yesterday I had a round of testing at my local clinic, so I went and braved the bus. Toronto, I'm sorry. Thank you. Uh, we're we turn cold like Friday or Saturday here. So if we're cold down here, I'm assuming you're getting ready for winter weather up there. Oh, I'm sorry. Cold for Texas is 82 with overcast skies. Yeah, you know you've been in Texas long enough. If you get into the low 80s and you can get chills. I was perfectly happy on the cruise, but in the evenings I'd have to put on my long sleeves. Yeah, getting ready for winter. You got all your preparations made. Hopefully you don't have to batten on storm windows and stuff like that. When I lived in the upper Midwest in Iowa, and we had a set of screen windows and we had a set of what we called storm windows, which was which basically allowed everything to be double paned in the winter. But then once that wood shrinks, it does allow a breeze to get around them, and it could be cold in the winter, especially if you put a glass of water on your windowsill. You could accidentally freeze it and break the glass and make a mess. But that's me and my modus operandi, messy Marvin here. Yeah, yeah. Most of the like the combination windows are double paned or have gas suctioned out, so it causes that vacuum layer, has a little more insulation. But I definitely don't want to be in a place without windows. It'd be like having a cruise with an interior cabin. It's very dark and a little more quiet, but can't see what's going on other than tuning your room's TV to the virtual camera that is outside the ship. And with those windows, you've got that double layer of okay. So radiant heat from the water heaters. Are they like on demand hot water electric heaters, or are they gas based? We used to have. I remember getting nosebleeds in the wintertime because we'd have radiator heat, and that takes away a lot of the moisture from the air, and your nasal passages and bronchi have to have some bit of humidity in the air, or you bleed and crack and have nosebleeds during that colder winter weather. Uh, and when I was traveling a lot and have to go to a cold climate, I would suffer from nosebleeds and such. And then as soon as the plane landed in Houston and they opened uh, that jet door, you get to about the third row of seats in first class, and you just get hit by this wall of mucky, mucky weather. And you could tell the people that were from Houston because they just, and then the people that weren't from Houston, they would be up for a rude awakening with that wall of very wet air, whether it be hot or cold. Yeah, gas boilers. So similar to the radiators we had back in Iowa. Yeah. And let me just play on my phone for a little bit and see if I can get Jeff's attention. And so the morning after, we found the tag on the fence while I was at the clinic on Monday. Hershey found some new tag on the siding fascia that's behind a banana plant. So I can't really tell if they happened at the same time. They're with different methods or markings, but um, the the other tagging that happened, it happens to be a hate crime oriented towards the witchy woo woo community, but definitely personal to Hershey and myself. So I feel bad for her because she feels very violated, and she has lost a sense of safety that she had. This has not really been a safe neighborhood to live in. We hear gunshots all the time. I heard a round of it earlier today in broad daylight. Uh, Somebody emptied a chamber on a handgun, it seemed. So let me read that first story for you. It comes from AP News. It says New Hampshire shelter faces enormous problem after man surrenders nearly 1,000 rodents. Stratham, New Hampshire, AP. A group of mice is called a nest, but what do you call 1,000 or more of them in an animal shelter? Crippling, says Lisa Dennison, executive director of the New Hampshire Society for Prevention to Cruelty of Animals, which is scrambling to care for an overwhelming influx of rapidly reproducing rodents. It all started Monday when a man arrived saying he wanted to give up 150 mice, but then he clarified 150 containers of mice, not individual critters. He had 73 mice with him that day, and by Friday morning, about 450 had already been transferred to the shelter. Another 500 or so were on the way. Lined up nose to tail, they'd span more than a football field in length. There's enough to give one mouse to every member of the U.S. Congress and the 424 member New Hampshire legislature combined, and that total is growing thanks to some basic biology. Female mice are sexually mature at roughly 6 weeks old. Gestation lasts about 20 days, and they can mate again 24 hours later. Even in the short time that they've had them, many of these mice have given birth. It's an exponential problem that keeps on growing. Part of the shelter's cat pavilion has been turned into the mouse hospital and a hotel with dozens of containers lined up on the floor, resting atop multiple tables and stacked on shelves. Just logging each mouse into the shelter's database is a chore, never mind providing food, water, and bedding. It's a lot of work for a facility that at most once took in 125 days, 125 animals in only one day. So that will be the first story that we read on. And then after contacting the authorities about the tagging, they'll be out sometime this week, and they'll call me when they're coming to property. So I don't know if you know, in Texas we have a big crime problem, especially in municipal areas. This being Houston, and the Houston and 7 surrounding counties has in excess of 7 million people. Um, Law enforcement are taxed to the brink, so I'm not expecting them tomorrow or the next day. Maybe within 2 weeks' time, they'll get here, photograph the evidence, and then we can have the boarding removed or the fascia replaced. But it is a violation of feeling safe and comfortable. But it's not the first time that I've been a victim of crime here in Houston. Uh, I was at home when somebody tried to enter a property that I lived in. I've been at home where somebody threw a brick through a window. I was not home when they jumped the patio fence and broke a bedroom window and gained access and stole a television set. Just I'm assuming. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining us. And when they stole a television set and left the front door of the apartment wide open, and neighbors saw them walk out with the TV and did nothing or said nothing because they just thought the two of us were moving out. Why they thought two random strangers carrying a TV out of our place was normal, I don't know. But it was a TV. Back when TVs were a little more expensive, like it was a 46-inch TV, and I would say at the time that TV was like $450. I mean, most electronics are disposable these days. I did have a private reading this weekend, and uh, always happy to get those. Um, and I think it was a good session for the querent. Um, they provided feedback, and it does seem that it went well for them. Yeah, this is Houston. I've been here since 1992, and uh, I'm probably in a living situation in excess of 20 right now. Just as things get better and I learn locations, uh, I was able to move on up to the east side, and then now that I'm retired and on a fixed budget, you have to watch where and how far the money goes. So, living expenses for rent and insurance are definitely my biggest expense, and we we live where we can afford, which it's definitely not a hovel, but it is not living at a Hilton. There's a lot of people on live, Sharon. Yeah, I always feel bad when one of the people that I follow, I go up against live, and that's why I try to keep things to like an hour maximum. So when we're done, we can get off the air, and the top of the next hour that people can go to their favorite readers. I'm definitely not a lot of people's favorite readers. I don't have a lot of charisma or spunk or personality, and being alone does kind of stress me. Yeah, I love the vibe of a city downtown and the attractions that it provides, and the convenience of having shopping like in the street levels. Corner markets, fruit stands, pharmacies, and then having the housing on top. I do like a downtown vibe. live music is always good to have around. And then there's, that sense of community during the daytime where there's hustle and bustle and office people running around, and then at night it switches vibe. It is Tuesday, correct? Let me let me double check. Yeah, Tuesday, November 19th. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving, not next week, but the last week, last Thursday of the month will be Thanksgiving here in the United States. Oh, that's very convenient then. Walking, I wish I could do more of it, but um, my stamina is not back to pre-operative levels, and still have physical therapy come in each week and test me and give me some newer exercises and tell me to go further and further in the parking lot every day, just to try to build up that stamina. I took my rollator along with my scooter on the ship, and a couple days I used the rollator, but I had long pants on, and my skin is very thin on my lower legs, and just the rubbing of jeans against my skin caused a big blister that now we're battling to heal again. But doctor prescribed some antibiotics for that, just because of having the surgical wound totally healed, and build up defenses against infection again. So if the people that are here will collect quirky stories and just do a share to me or Jeff during the week, uh, uh, we will consider putting your story in for our next round of tarot pairs readings. So, Fatima, what's your favorite cuisine? Do you have an international cuisine you like, or do you like the local Canadian? I don't know if that's the area for poutine. Um, you gotta love French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. Sounds delicious, and it was when I had it. Um, but you gotta watch the sodium with the gravy and the cheese. Let's see, if I had to say that Houston had a local dish, I would say it's chicken fried steak. So with country gravy, which is the milk based uh, cream white gravy, but some people like their chicken fried steak with brown gravy. So chicken fried steaks usually served with mashed potatoes, corn or green beans. Yes, poutine is not a very figure friendly um, food, but it's definitely a comfort food, I would say. So, do you like Italian? Are you vegetarian, vegan type based diet? Are you Mediterranean? I love Chinese food, and MSG gives me some headaches. But yeah, I could see where it's high in cholesterol. All those artery clogging foods taste really good. What do you mean my fingerprint doesn't match? There, I made it match. Portuguese, Italian, Asian, of all types. Not picky. Well, good then. You have a variety of options. There he is.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. I somehow thought we'd go on at 8 or 9 the way we used to, and I didn't look at Tom's stream, just assuming that was going to be the case. So I didn't, I got the link and all, but I just assumed.
Oh, not a problem.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm fine. In fact, this is a great time. It's just I just woke up from a nap, and I got a.
I'm sorry. That was me calling you.
Was that you? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that was me.
So everything. Yeah, in fact, everything will be cold for me tonight because I have not looked at the stories yet.
So the first story that we're reading on, Jeff, is about a New Hampshire ASPCA who agreed to take in 150 mice from a local man. I thought it was a laboratory, but and then later he qualified that it was not 150 mice, it was 150 enclosures of mice. So it's upwards of 1,000 mice. And then as they get them, some of the females are already pregnant and having litters of, or nests of new mice. So they said it's crippling because the one-day intake record for the local ASPCA there was 123, and now they're getting in excess of 1,000 over a 5-day period. So yeah, that does not sound good. And how do you adopt out 1,000 mice? Do you do them a dozen at a time? Do you say, do you have a rat snake at home that you need to feed? Or I don't think the SPCA or PETA would allow that. So Jeff, for the mouse story, you are reading Tower and Page of Cups upright.
Okay. This is interesting because when I see the tower, I almost feel as if in the card I can hear mice creeping away from it, or in the bottom, or in a belfry or something. Next to the Page of Cups, which makes me think that right then and there, what's occurring is an offer that can be easily refused, in the sense that the choice to exterminate or actually take care of mice and actually foster what is going on. There are no good choices, but to the people that set the mice or actually are doing what they are doing, it makes it that much more difficult to be in a position to reconcile if you're anyway a human rights advocate. Your idea of what would be decent versus what you need to do to save a large population of something. And I think the actual idea, the care that goes into breeding something, anything, is something that shouldn't be downplayed as far as the emotion goes with the Page of Cups. But when you're talking about a mass number of things, each one should be treated like an individual, and that should be the message. But when it's mass extermination or when it's mass chaos, I fear that that is what is the overriding emotion to humanity when they see something like that that can spread disease, spread all kinds of things. So these things are going to multiply, as Thomas put it, at a level that they probably shouldn't, for our own safety. But at the same time, putting together a situation that is going to be decent or prosperous or a beneficial outcome for every animal and every being, human or otherwise, is impossible with that offer card, that stinky fish card. So that's what I get.
And so I start with the tower upright and the page reversed. So with the tower upright, you think of mice as vermin and things to eradicate or exterminate. And with the page of cups reversed, as Jeff said, you've got that offer of stinky fish and an abundance of stink. 1,000 at one time is definitely, I suppose a medieval castle tower could have that many running around, but how many are going to control defenses? Castles are notoriously drafty and cold, but they are not equal to the outside elements. So they probably took refuge in the tower, and then they didn't know that its foundations were shaky and collapse is imminent. When we have our page of cups reversed, usually that's that unloved feeling. And if you get 1,000 mice together, that would be an definitely not anything to love or feel attracted to. Jeff, your next reading, Tower Reverse, Page of Cups upright. Boy.
With the tower reversed, I feel as if there's already some sort of epidemic or threat that is being surrendered to, meaning they're all around. There's no one place that they're localized. They could be falling like people for entertainment purposes only would be falling from a tower. And you know what tower I'm referring to. And I also feel like there's little opportunity to control the situation at that point. There's even less of an opportunity because not only do they outnumber people, this sort of location, as I said, thinking in terms of, I think Thomas alluded to this, the medieval aspect of things. I'm seeing, Black Death and all these other things coming in, and it's basically just, I'm going to be eaten alive and I'm going to die. And then with the other card, which was, I believe, what was it, Thomas?
Page of Cups.
Page of Cups in the reverse.
Let's see. What are you reading on? Upright. Tower reversed.
Hi, Janet. I think what it is, it's upright, right? Reversed.
The cup.
It is upright.
The tower is reversed. The cup is upright.
The cup is up. So I think basically all the ideas that humanity has about life and life-saving techniques are really in animal rights fall by the wayside because there's really only one offer, and it's the only offer that they can take, which is to just try to exterminate to no avail. It's not the best offer. It's kind of the offer, the only one though that they have, even though they're going to keep probably propagating at a level that is going to make it that much more difficult to keep up with them, and disease will continue to spread, is what I'm getting from that. I'm also hearing that the incentive to create a new vaccine for some sort of virus is very, very disincentivizing at this point, because we've been through the Black Death once in the 1600s and people are afraid of the new one. So if that's what is going to be, that surrendering in the original card up reversed, the tower, is the only option, and it's a bad option too. With that Page of Cups upright, that's the bad option. That's what I get at that one.
Being the insensitive human that I am, a tower moment is a tower moment, even in abundance and excess. So if I were in the castle, I would either light the buggers on fire and throw them at my enemies, or I would mousepult them over the castle walls and, hope that disease-ridden mice would infect the armies attacking me. Again, with our Page of Cups reversed, you can tell I don't love all animals or hold them valuable. Maybe 1,000 is enough to make a fur coat that would be also lined in fur. And since mouse pelts are probably pretty thin, that would be fall wear in Texas. Sorry, PETA. Sorry, ASPCA. The opinions of the people who appear on this program are strictly their own and for entertainment purposes only. No malice is meant towards the mice and vermin populations of America or any other country. Okay, 10 of Swords and 6 of Pentacles I need to find for our next reading. There's my swords. Right. 10 of Swords. Found him.
Okay.
6 of Pentacles. We have that. The funny money. But how does funny money fit into this story? Oh, well. This next story, Jeff, is about a wayward turtle that was found in the Netherlands and had to be relocated so he could safely be returned to warmer waters and be more comfortable because he was definitely out of the normal area for a sea turtle.
Did he wander into the Netherlands?
Well, he's a sea turtle, so he probably swam.
Oh, okay.
Or was carried there and released. and discovered. And there are people that want to help critters and creatures. Again, this story is still from AP. I didn't do exhaustive research for these stories. I just stayed on the AP site, and they had enough going on last week that we could read it. We threw away our rats. Oh well. Yes, Janet gets my sense of humor. Okay, so from the AP News again, a wayward sea turtle wound up in the Netherlands. A rescue brought it thousands of miles back home. Galveston, Texas, AP. An endangered sea turtle that was found about a year ago, some 5,000 miles or 8,047 kilometers for us in America that have not been able to get used to the metric system, from its native waters has been released into the Gulf of Mexico, according to the Houston Zoo. The Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, named Boye, after the boat that rescued it. It was found off the coast of the Netherlands after becoming entangled in the net of a commercial fishing boat. Well, was it already in the net and they brought it to the Netherlands? The zoo said the turtle apparently was carried away by currents until it was found, and the U.S. National Fish and Wildlife Services secured the turtle's return. The turtle was taken from the Rotterdam Zoo, where it was nursed back to health and eventually was flown October 29th, the zoo said. After medical tests and an acclimation process, the healthy Bouye was released into the Gulf of Mexico from Stewart Beach in Galveston on November 4th. So we were 2 days into our cruise. So that was Monday after we took off. So he had some rough seas to get back into because we took off in storms in Galveston for our cruise. So Tom, upright, Six of Pentacles, charity. You know, we all want to do what's right for the lost and the wayward critters of the world. And it seems to be that there's more sea awareness going on now. There's 90% of creatures. But what's the Ten of Swords moment? Well, no matter where it was caught in a sea net and of consumption on a regular basis. So, you know, it just wandered into colder waters, or like they suggested, it was swept by sea currents up and out of its normal what do you call
Habitat.
that, migration route. So I'm going to do the next one, upright in reversed. You know, charity, there right in reversed, and I'm doing reverse. So with charity, you know, the probably took some funding to fly it from the Netherlands back to Houston, back to the center that got it rehabbed. Or I mean, it's cargo, but it's definitely has to be kept in the warmer areas of the airplane. It can't be down in the luggage compartment and experiencing freezing temperatures, you know, at 30 36,000 feet altitude. So it involved into getting it back and um, and healthy. And then the Ten of Swords reversed is they saw that it was a man-made problem, even though the turtle was wayward and not in its regular environment. And the blessing is that it took a lot of human compassion to, first of all, the fishermen to free it from the nets and not return it back to the cold, icy oceans, but to take it where it could be relocated. Jeff is going to read Charity reversed.
Okay, so this is just about to me, the lack of sort of humanitarian effort that is evident or rampant now for animals, because we can barely take care of ourselves because there's so much poverty among man, that we often think of ourselves first to the detriment of others. But even though, this sort of shows like a unified community, a unified worldwide community, the reality is the one that, is, as Lori at the Way of Positive Change says, the faceplant card, because here we are making a news story, and swords, a lot of times, like the Eight of Swords, can be about the media. With this card, in particular, the fact that this story is getting the attention it is, goes to show you that we don't address the finality of the policy, the reality of the policies that we have that don't address life sustainment, whether it's about animals or whether it's not about animals, about people. So to me, that's what this represents. If I had to take a guess, though, the people over in, Europe or whatever, when it was wayward over in the Netherlands or Rotterdam or wherever it was,
Netherlands.
the Netherlands, they're looking at it from the vantage point that this is something that we need to do now to save ourselves, because this could be the end. I mean, it could be the end for us if we don't save the planet. And that with the 10, it's about endings too. So it kind of has a bittersweet sort of meaning, to me, when it's read that way.
I would say in that context, they're both could be seen in between man and animal, because the turtle, even though he was lost, he couldn't help himself get back. And so at least there was some kind of compassion towards them to get them back to native or safer. So you've never seen the Ten of Swords reversed as being read as compassion. It was a mercy killing, or a mercy allowing to live.
Yeah, I'm seeing it as like a Ten of Swords that could be coming for us.
And reverse.
Yeah. Reverse. Okay. Europeans know what assholes Americans are. And the idea that sorry, that's just what came to mind. The idea that anybody would get over here and actually be part of the humanitarian effort to save a turtle is a kind of far out proposition to begin with. And at the same time, too, the fact that it would be a stretch to believe that anyone would care that much shows a lack of incentive on the part of us to want to give, or in the minds of the people, and including the person reading this card, me, that there would be any sort of reciprocity for an animal to save it in this sort of way. It just seems like a stretch that it would be charity. So when it came out reversed in this instance, the fact that Thomas just alluded to the fact that if you can read it upright, read it in the reverse. It's a testament to the savior of the animal, and it is a happy ending, but it's certainly not a freeing ending, because the weight of trying to let go of a crisis worldwide like this is still a lot to consider when, as I said before, we're considering our own survival at this point. So with the swords coming out of us, there's a recognition of the bitter truth of what we need to do to save ourselves, but we can be saved if we're willing to admit that sometimes we don't consider the universality of life as far as what it should be, that every living creature and every living thing deserves to be here.
Absolutely. We all coexist on this little minuscule blue rock, whether it be land-based or sea-based. So thank you, Jeff, for that.
You're welcome.
Story number 3. Thailand's baby pygmy hippo, Mudang, now has an official song in 4 languages. I am still trying to master English, and he's got a song out in 4 languages. Good going, Mudang. AP. In case you can't get enough of the little pygmy hippo, Mudang, from Thailand, there's now an official song featuring the internet's favorite baby animal, released in 4 languages for her global fans. The upbeat 50-second song, Mudang Mudang, available in Thai, English, Chinese, and Japanese versions, features simple lyrics like Mudang Mudang, boing boing boing, mommy mommy play with me. Its music video consists of short clips of the baby hippo bouncing, playing with her keeper, or hanging out with her mom, Jonah. The catchy number was produced and written by the well-known Thai composer, M.A. I will just say, like I said, I don't know English, I don't know Thai, and wouldn't even know how to say that. Mumfet Amara, Amara, and released by one of Thailand's largest music companies, Mudang. The name literally means bouncy pork, a type of meatball in Thai, becoming a global phenomenon just a month after she was unveiled on Facebook by the local zoo in Thailand's southern Chonburi province. Fans say her name complements her chaotic personality. Mudang likes to ding or bounce. and her giddy bouncing has appeared all over social media in countless memes. Her image has been used by sports teams and businesses. The hippo, now 4 months old, has drawn a huge amount of visitors to the zoo, which is around a 2 hour drive away from the capital, Bangkok. The zoo estimated it has received 3,000 to 5,000 visitors a day on average in the past few months, and it's selling clothes, bedding, and other merchandise based on Mudang. Zoo director said that increasing income from Mudang will help its breeding programs for many endangered species, like the pygmy hippopotamus, which is threatened by poaching and loss of habitat. The species native to West Africa, and there are only 2,000 to 3,000 left in the wild. The zoo sits on 800 hectares, almost 2,000 acres of land, and is home to more than 2,000 animals. And
So Mudang is the name of the hippo, and it's also the name of the song.
catchy little tune. And that goes to kudos for whoever recorded the song and is allowing it to be used to help the local zoo and the breeding programs, because zoos are curiosities to humans, and they need a new draw. And if you got something that's as cute as a pygmy hippopotamus and a bouncy personality, that can do wonders for attendance and monies and merchandising to help sustain a zoo. Even though they're in captivity, it might be better to help save a population that is quickly dwindling in the wild due to adverse men's actions, not reactions.
So
So,
Mudang is.
Jeff, you're going to start out.
I have a question.
Oh, cups.
Mudang is the name of the song and the hippo, or right?
Yes. Bouncy pork.
Pork. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So,
bouncy pork.
Bouncy pork.
So, okay. So you get this.
Okay.
One,
so with that,
five
Saturn
of cups upright.
5 of cups upright. So
I pulled the wrong.
Yeah, the regret.
Card. And technical difficulties. I'm buffering over here.
Okay, so I think with the Mars and Scorpio, which I think is the 5 of cups, and then reading first the star card.
I got them reversed. 5 of cups.
Oh, okay. So the 5 of cups is first, right? Okay, there we go.
I'll go with what you say. I haven't memorized the associations yet.
So the 5 of cups, to me, means that as Thomas said, there is some curiosity, and there's regret for what we've created as far as animals like the hippopotamus on the verge of being extinct. We can't go back. I mean, there are still some cards up. I mean, some cups up, and even though the actual idea that the open land and all these things that we've done to destroy, we don't want to accept it and move past it and try to do the things that we need to, because so many people, like with global warming or with other things, tell us it's beyond repair. So we really need to look up at things like this, as silly as they might seem, to hopefully maintain or draw attention to the things that need to be done. This kind of is like in the last story, to keep that sustenance of life going. With the star card, as above, so below. So, if you really want that manifestation of the heavenly life and the idea that we're all interconnected to play out, you need to be drawing attention to whether it's our furry friends or it's our friends in the jungle or anywhere. So there's that connectivity and that hope that we bring to one another that is going to save us. These are really positive messages tonight, you guys.
So we have, I keep doing it, 5 of Cups upright. This is for me. As curiosities or a place to bring other and put it in the consciousness of people. So even though it is in captivity, it's not a loss, because it's actually saving Mudang and her mother from potential poachers. And then the star reversed, saying that, and wilds, every wild species is going to be endangered. So being in captivity really is maybe its last hope. And maybe these songs, this song that has been translated into 4 languages, will, to the plight of animals and the intrinsic value that mankind does not put on the wild, to make extinct species around us, Carolina pigeons, carrier pigeons, Carolina canaries, dodo birds, Tasmanian devils. It just seems to be all or mostly at the peril brought by humanity, encroaching on the wild. Jeff, you get reverse and upright.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this way, with the idea that zoos are okay, reversed. Okay, so instead of feeling deep regret, the only thing that we can focus on, of course, is now. And there's nothing more illustrative of trying to capture the now than being at one with all spirits, regardless of what earthly realm or earthly plane or heavenly plane they're on. And in the course with the animals, they come from a heavenly plane, they say, or an earthly, as opposed to being confined to the way we are, this sort of 3D monotony. So even though it looks as if there was no hope, the hope resides in the fact, or the hope lies in the fact, that they can actually do something like this that has meaning, to bring attention to something that, as I always say, is going to affect all of us. Hi, Mama Sushi. But also brings to light the issue of, because with the star card, the way it is in that upright, that if we don't consider saving the chain of the food chain, and we don't take care of one another, the food chain's bound to be hurt either way because of the environment or whatever. So if we destroy others, we destroy ourselves. So as above, so below. We need to make sure that we are providing hope for the next generations, to show charity, not just charity, but devotion, and attention to other life forces other than ourselves, and kind of get back to where we were before the internet and all that, when we weren't having to have our energy, or only through screens. And that's hard for me to say, because I would rather be looking at a camera, but we need to start looking backward a little bit to save ourselves going forward. And I think that's the message with as above, so below in that.
Yeah, if mankind doesn't save things around in our environment, we're destined not to save ourselves. I don't know. I don't care how many rockets Elon sends to Mars with humanity or zoomanity on them. Too little, too late, I think, in that case. So why do I keep doing that? I really hate reversal camera here. So there is hope that we can see a brighter future. You need to necessarily focus on all the negative. We need to make a happy, and to focus on that. But with the star reversed, it's still eternal. The actions of mankind on all these wild species that are maybe are on the slow boat to being extinct. So I think any species that we can save raises humanity's help of saving itself.
Agreed.
Last story. Bolivians carry adorned human skulls asking for favors in the Natitas festival in La Paz. And I believe, La Paz is in Bolivia. La Paz, Bolivia, AP. Hundreds of Bolivian devotees arrived Friday at the municipal cemetery of La Paz, carrying human skulls adorned with flowers for the Natitas festival, a custom rooted in the Andean region, but not recognized by the local Catholic Church. According to Bolivian belief, devotees ask Natitas for health, money, love, and other manly favors. Mama Azapa, Maria Azapa, is one of the Natitas, and unlike many others, her skull has braided hair. She is my protector, Elena Martinez, who identified herself as an Amuata or Kuchua priestess, said. During the festival, people throw cocoa leaves and flowers at them, put cigarettes in their mouths. Some skulls are even wearing sunglasses and hats. Some are kept in golden glass urns, and others in shoeboxes decorated with flowers. The festival is a mix of Andean ancestral worship and Catholic beliefs. Experts say it was common in pre Columbian times to keep skulls as trophies and to display them to symbolize death and rebirth. Jeff, you have the first two readings.
Okay.
Our cards.
Oh, okay.
Seven of
So
Cups.
this is about what I'm seeing here with the Seven of Cups and I think Venus
Eight of Swords.
and Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is Jupiter in Pisces. And then that other one, the Seven, is I want to say Venus in Aquarius, but I don't think so. I think it's something else. Venus in Scorpio.
Thanks for stopping by.
This is about the controversy I get with the intermingling of more secular ideas with pagan ideas and versus the old religiosity that said that this might be sacrilege. I think the locals down there had trouble identifying with going to this for fear that they were committing some sort of sacrilege, despite the fact that time and time again we've seen skulls portrayed in a way that isn't as and this is where the illusions come in. The choice to go is based on this illusion that skulls are always creepy and represent the threat of death, but not the celebration of death and the festivals that come with it. So that's what I'm getting from that. The other thing that I'm getting is with regard to that card in particular, that's a representative of beliefs or ideas, because we've created these beliefs that we can't extricate ourselves from. We choose not to. It's not that we can't. We choose not to. So that's what I think is going on with regard to those two cards right there about that festival. Okay. Okay, so in this instance, what I'm getting is that, yeah, the choice is one that needs to be made by one person and one person alone, because when it's about celebration, and you see in the Seven of Cups that there are all kinds of choices that may lead to decadence or the wrong path, but really when you're at a festival, you're supposed to celebrate, in this particular instance, life and death, and how two polarities could be so pitted against each other. I mean, as far as what the skull represents and what the Skull Festival represents is embodied by the fact that the actual the way that the reversal of the Jupiter and Gemini card is that there needs to be some sort of forced change. You need to see something portrayed in a new light and not to be superstitious of it. Whereas if you can set yourself free the way the Jupiter and Gemini card embodies, then you will make the right choice, because the right choice in this situation, if it's about religion, is what's personal. It's not about the 7 or 6 other choices that you could have made, because there really there's no perfect choice, right? There's only the choice for you. So that's what I'm getting that way.
Well, intrinsically, humanity fears its mortality. And I think what a lovely way to celebrate this maybe choice to go against organized religion and celebrate the way the ancestors did, the sanctity of life and the beauty that returning the body to the earth rebuilds the earth to cleanse and purify and nurture another generation. With the Eight of Swords being upright in this, it's that restriction that belief systems can hold you in and keep you blinded to honoring traditions and honoring ancestors and honoring that we're all scared of our finality, and to indoctrinate a younger generation, make it a colorful festival, make it something fun and forward to look forward to doing, because as far as I know, all of us living have escaped death just by the mere fact that we're living, but there is going to be a finality to all of us. So to celebrate life and death together seems to be very well attuned to this culture that really has more connection to earth and spirit as above so below, Jeff.
Yeah that's beautiful, Thomas.
And then maybe we don't have choice, a choice of where we're born or what culture we're born into. So the choice is real constricting institutions represent and confine us and blind us to our situation
until it doesn't anymore, which is what I get, since it's reverse, the Jupiter and the Eight of Swords.
Well, Stephen, everybody talks about heaven, but no one wants to go, LOL. And I would say death will get you to your final destination, whether you want to go there or not. So thank you for reading tarot pairs with me tonight, Jeff. I enjoy this. What would I call it? Cerebral exercise in silliness. Because we are not reading we're not typically reading on life and death situations. You know,
Clearly.
this is a celebration. That's a good point, Mama Sushi. So, Jeff, what are you looking forward to in your tarot or authorship schedule in this coming week? What can we look forward to?
Collaboration with Care Bear Bard of Cards on, I want to say Saturday or Sunday, but I forget the date. Which is going to be another show about dreams. We're going to be reading again on dreams. I don't know if you saw the first one we did, but it was a lot of fun. And I just did Allie's show, which was really fun, with Terry at Holding Your Space and Callie Healer, who were on that night. And we read on dreams, and Oil Painter as well. It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
so
Diana.
I like the energy, of doing that, because there's a psychology component to it as well. It's not just, it's what you can, through symbolism, get from the cards and then relate it to maybe the psychology of dreams. Like if you've ever studied any level of psychology where dreams are concerned, it's an interesting sort of rendering of the tarot through the iconography of dreams and what things mean in dreams. So it's fun.
As Sigmund Freud would say, Anna, sometimes a banana is just a banana. Anna. And sometimes it stands for something else, the inner wants, desires, and carnal nature of
That's what I was going to say.
Being a flesh and bone human. And Hershey is feeling better. So tomorrow we will have shadow reads. And I believe we are at our 3-month spiritual path check time again. So that's always a big show for Hershey because she has to shuffle the cards a billion times. We look for the Fool and the World to see if we're on our correct spiritual path, and then interpret what other cards come up for us to see where you might not going astray, just what are your preoccupations on being sidelined from continuing on the path that you were meant and deserve to have. Saturday may be a spirit box session with Hershey, and Sunday is class, and we are at 10 of Pentacles this Sunday. Had we not taken an 11-week break, we would be on the Ace of Cups. But life happens, and so it goes. Glad it's still going.
You're
so,
welcome,
Jeff, stick around. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and replying to comments and keeping me talking while we anticipated Jeff's arrival. Little did we know he was getting some regenerative and recuperative shut-eye. And sometimes you got to take it when you can get it. So with that, remember, be kind to yourselves, everyone. Be kind to others.
Yes.
Go out and make it a great night. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.